Welcome to worship with the Universalist Unitarian Church of Peoria. My name is the Reverend Jennifer Innis. It is my great joy to be the minister with this congregation of all ages at all stages of life. This is a beloved community striving to live into its mission of embracing freedom, loving wholeheartedly, growing in mind, body, and spirit, and adding to the wholeness and the healing of the world. We are unapologetically progressive and welcoming people of all ethnicities and races, sexual orientations and gender identities, economic and social situations, politics and abilities. We advocate for human rights, and we strive to be good stewards of this one earth. In living our mission, we recognize that we are part of a network of relationships, deep network of relationships, for this is the ancestral home of the Peoria people. They and many other nations were here long before the first European settlers came down the Illinois River. And so we honor the Peoria people for who they were and for who they are today. I want to thank folks for joining us in person and online. We recognize how precious and powerful it is to expand our circles of connection and our circles of care. If you are new, please help us get to know you. We have plenty of name tags. We love all the questions. Stay for visiting after the service if you're with us in person, or stay also online if you're in the Zoom room. That's good too. I want to invite folks to check your respective devices to see if they are in worship mode, usually buzzy or silent, please. Thank you. Now, I have a few notes for today. This is our Ingathering Water Communion. This is the official launch of the church year. And so we begin with a Unitarian Universalist ritual that recognizes how summer is a time of fluidity, so to speak, in experience and schedules. And so this is our opportunity to come together and reconnect or check out a place for the first time and just kind of see where we might come and connect with one another and with our larger purpose as a faith and as a congregation. So I want to invite folks to stay also after the service for potluck. And this is one of those moments where we kind of go in for the UUs kind of being the liberal hippie stereotype. We're tie-dyeing today. We love the liberal hippie stereotype of the tie-dye. And I want to thank Jessie Lachlan. She created, this is the child size, just so you know. She created these wonderful, adorable shirts with church logo on the front and chalice-shaped graphic on the back with our Unitarian Universalist values spelled out. So this is a fabulous shirt just by itself. Yes. And there's more, because you can come and tie-dye and customize it yourself. And you can get help if you're like, I just don't know how to do this tie-dyeing thing. By all means, please ask. There are willing and helpful people. And suggested donation for $15 a shirt, if you can, to help cover the expense. That would be much appreciated. Let's see. And so next week, today being the kind of the start of the church year, this is an all ages service. So next week, Jessie Lachlan and the Religious Education Department will begin with their classes and programs as well, as usual. And by all means, check out the display in the fellowship hall for more information about our programs for children and youth this year. We have a great lineup. I'm very excited about the great content and the great experience that's planned for our children and youth. And the adults who come and hang out with the children and youth, they also get a great experience as well. I want to have a final note about this is the time of year where we also kind of reboot and restart our connection circles. This is kind of small group conversations, happen about twice a month through the church year by and large. And they're a chance for people to get connected, to get to know one another in a smaller scale. And there's various meeting times, various days of the week. New participants are welcome, as if you're interested in maybe being a facilitator, we'd love to talk to you as well. And these connection circles, I want to say, there are few spaces in our lives that provide a way to think aloud and just get to know people. And people really make enduring connections there. When I first learned about these as a student in like 1997, part of how it was communicated to me was that these small groups are our way of saving the world 6 to 10 people at a time. What a gift, right? What an opportunity. So please consider being part of a connection circle, and we'll hear more about that in the coming Sundays. All right, for right now. Oh, and if you are familiar with our water communion, might recognize that usually at this point in the service, I will ask if you'd like to come up and if you've brought a little bit of water to share to add to our common bowl, I would say you can bring that up at any time during the service. But in this moment, I'm going to ask you to wait until we get to that moment towards the end of the service, because we have a story that we are building together in the course of things. And now I invite you to rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn number 209, O Come, You Longing Thirsty Souls. And let me welcome BJ Lindsay forward for our opening words.
Good morning. Our opening words today are by Reverend Gretchen Haley. This is a call for all the people longing for liberation, all who wander too often the desert, not sure of the way forward, too often thirsty and afraid, looking for water. Here is a call to collect ourselves and the hopes we have tucked away, set aside too often for another day. Here we are building a welcome table that never finds its end, a river that cannot run dry. The waters are always rapid and then still, steady and then waterfalls. There is nothing tidy or perfect possible in this journey. Abundant life is messy and glorious, filled with risk. This is a call for the diving in with all the dreams of your heart, the struggles, the silliness, the fear, the hunger, the courage, the community, the love. Here we remember the time for joy is always now. Come, let us worship together.
And I invite Hillary Wasson to come forward for our chalice lighting.
And so we gather from the ebb and flow of our lives, thirsty for connection to others, thirsty for connection to ourselves, thirsty for connection to the larger life. As we light this chalice, may all who gather here be filled with joy and hope, filled with compassion and love. Here may we be filled so that we may pour ourselves out into the world.
So today, we will be telling a story all throughout worship, not just at one time. This story comes to us from the Islamic tradition. It is called The Dog at the Well. And this version is authored by Marilyn McFarlane in Sacred Myths. One day, Muhammad told his friends and followers a story about a thirsty man, a well, and a dog. This was the story. A man left his home to take a journey. It was a hot day, and he had not walked far before his head began to ache, his mouth felt dry, and the sun blazed overhead. The fields he passed were brown and withered. No water could be seen. "I'm so thirsty. I must find water. Surely I will come to a well soon." Just as he had that thought, he saw a well by the side of the road. Thankfully, he hurried to the well, almost tasting the sweet coolness of the water that lay in its depths. But when he peered into the well, he saw no water. The well was dry. Disheartened and even more thirsty now, he continued along the scorching road, hoping to find another well. And sure enough, before long, we're going to leave our story there. I wonder what will happen.
The title for today, "O Come Your Longing, Thirsty Souls," kept coming to me in this moment. And what also came to me is how grateful I am that on so many moments, in so many ways, that we do find a well in each other, in care in each other, in sustenance with each other. And this is part of the deep work of the church, is one of care and welcome, that we prepare to meet our friends and neighbors and fellow travelers in every moment and every stage of life. And we make a tangible effort to recognize that in thanks, in our work, and in giving a small gift during the service as part of our collection. We recognize the value of being ready, of making that effort to greet and to serve and to encounter. And so part of what we also do with our collection is share it out into the community with our Share the Plate program. For September, our recipient is 100 Black men of Central Illinois. They provide services and programs to local African American communities, including economic seminars, health and wellness fairs, post high school scholarships. There's a Mentoring for Life program for our children, for our teenagers, and it helps equip them for everything, not just what gets learned in school, but for everything to make life work. And so it's such a good thing that we are able to support this effort through our Share the Plate. You're welcome to take a look at the donation envelopes if you'd like to use those to designate where you'd like your donation to go. And so half the undesignated plate goes to 100 Black men of Central Illinois for this month. Once the ushers pass the plates, then it will be time to come forward and light candles of care. So this is a good time to just simply reflect and enjoy and savor as well. Will the ushers please come forward? Come into this room, settle into seats, breathe into the very body that will be you, for better, for worse, in sickness and in health, to death do us part. Come into this day, raise your gaze into the light, the one steadfast sun who watches over all growing beings, even you, even now. Come into this heart and break into the boundlessness of wild beauty, no beginning or ending in you, but flowing through like white water, reaching all toward whatever was and all that ever will be. This is the time for the sharing of joys and sorrows among us. We offer congratulations to Gary Hall. He successfully had another heart procedure and is doing well. In fact, he's here today. Hello, Gary. We offer healing wishes to Jim Johnson. He is receiving treatment for his heart condition and will have a stent procedure on September 15th. We offer our sympathy to Maren Thies and her family for the terrible loss of her grandmother, Sherry Pate. Sherry was killed by her husband in Pekin earlier this week. Sherry was a generous and beloved presence in her family and in the community. I have the privilege of leading her funeral in Pekin this afternoon. We offer our care and support as Maren and her family honor Sherry. In our larger world, we offer solidarity with all who are showing up in support of human rights, democracy, and civil liberties, from workers over billionaires on Labor Day, to Existence is Resistance by Peorians for Palestine, to We Are All DC in Washington, DC, and with our neighbors in Chicago this weekend. With all that is with us and among us and around us, we take one more moment for all the joys and sorrows, the names, the milestones that are with us in body, in spirit, in mind, and heart. Let us pause one more moment and breathe. Amen, salam, shalom, and blessed be. Now we return to the story.
So, as you recall, our very thirsty traveler had just discovered the well was dry. And yet, our traveler had to press on. I can't go much further without water, he thought. And then he saw a second well. Almost afraid to hope, he looked over the edge, and far below in the darkness, water sparkled. Allah be praised, the man said, and he looked around for a rope and a bucket to lower into the well so he could bring up the life-giving water. There was no rope and no bucket. How could he reach the water he needed so badly? One way remained. If the water would not come up to him, he would go down to it. He scrambled over the top carefully, bracing himself against the walls with his arms and his feet, and he descended into the well. Deeper and deeper he went until at last he touched the cool, wet water, and he scooped the water up and drank from his hands. And he murmured, "Praise Allah for the liquid of life." Let us all be joyful.
So today we join our sibling Unitarian Universalists all across the country today, this time of year, the past few weeks, and a couple of weeks to come, in starting this new year. Now, the origin of the water communion itself is a story of finding strength from many sources. Over 40 years ago, in 1980, Unitarian Universalist women came together at the Women and Religion Conference in Michigan. They wanted to have a voice when women had been kept from being accepted as leaders in our own congregations. Yes, we seem to be a little progressive, and yet we have a long way to go sometimes. They sought to create a ritual where everybody could contribute. The participants brought water from every corner of the country as a symbol of the life within each of us, no matter what age, gender, color, orientation, ability. And women left that conference and brought back that ritual of a water ceremony to their congregations at home. But not only did they return with water, they came back with a deeper charge in all Unitarian Universalism to include women and female perspectives in our understanding of Scripture and who can lead the church. Just keep in mind, this is 1980, not in some ways, for some of us, not that long ago. Am I right? But efforts such as theirs led to changes such that many of our ministers are women, much more than half at this point. We have more leaders also who are trans, non-binary, more who are Black, Indigenous, people of color, more who have disabilities, more who are neurodivergent. We are more able to include the range of how we think and act and dream and how our history and where we live ripples out into our lives and those of our neighbors. And we still strive. We still strive for inclusion, for diversity. We still strive to meet that invitation to simply connect as human beings, responding to that hymn invitation, "O come, you longing, thirsty souls." We are all parched. So perhaps this year we can move one more measure further into the deeper truth of how we learn to regard ourselves and each other as human beings, how we learn to care for our earth, how we connect with what is much larger than ourselves. We are part of a much larger sphere of existence than we can begin to grasp, and yet we still want to know. We can take up the call for public witness and advocacy for human rights and for dignity and for democracy and for our earth. And in this congregation, we keep coming back to conversations about connection, recognition, sustaining ourselves, deepening as a community. We want to more fully embody our mission of embracing freedom, loving inclusively, growing in mind, body, and spirit, and adding to the healing of the world. We want to be known for service and to be advocates. We want to be known as a place of compassion for all people. We want a vibrant congregational life for all ages. I think today is a good example of, yeah, we're doing. In case you don't know, we got a lovely crowd down here. This is fabulous. And we do this within the embrace of the beloved community. We do this in the larger sphere of the holy and the presence of all that is around us. In Unitarian Universalism, we choose to gather, we give our values form and life, knowing that we are greater together than when we are pulled apart, and that we are part of a larger system and cycle of all that is. These are good things. And in that spirit, I want to invite us into our hymn number 1007, There's a River Flowing in My Soul. In the teal hymnal, please rise and body your spirit. Okay. It's you. You're number 4. Yeah.
For this next part, I'm going to need some more characters. Do I have any dogs in the audience? Walking dogs? Puppies? Maybe my puppies could gather right in front of the table. Go on, in front of the table. Oh, go around. Go right up here. There we are, puppies. Very good. All right. Abby? No. Abby. There we go. We're so busy. We're doing so many things. So, you may remember, in our story, our traveler had just been refreshed by the water in the well. Imagine being so thirsty and finally feeling that cool, refreshing liquid. I wonder how that made our traveler feel. So, feeling much better, the traveler began the long, difficult climb out of the well, and at last he reached the top and stood again on the road under the hot sun. A soft, sad whine came from the distance. Do dogs whine? Puppies? Whine? The traveler looked down and saw a pack of thirsty dogs. They were sniffing the ground, and they looked miserable. Their eyes were glazed, and they were panting with thirst. One of the puppies came up to the man and sniffed him and licked the edge of his robe. You don't actually have to lick the robe. Don't do that. But the robe was still wet from his trip into the well. This poor animal is as thirsty as I was, the man thought. These dogs will die in this heat if they don't get water. And the dogs looked up, slowly wagged their tails. The man made his decision. "Wait here," he said. "I will bring you some water." So, into the well he went. When he got there, the man braced himself against the walls of the well and took off his soft leather boots. He dipped one boot into the well. There we go. And filled it to the top with water. This time the trip up the well was so much harder. This was not easy for the man. There we go. Water. Water bearers can come forward. The heavy water-filled boots were difficult to carry. But slowly the man kept climbing until he reached the top. And when he was on the ground again, he knelt and opened the boots. And the old man's going to pass the water-filled boot to our water bearers. Abby and Penny, there we go. There we go, perfect. All right. And the water was shared with the pack of thirsty dogs. They drank all the water that the man brought up. And the man smiled. "Now, neither of us will die of thirst," he said. Allah was so pleased by this kind act that all of the wrongdoings that this man had committed were forgiven instantly. And years later, when the kind man died, all who remembered him spoke of his kindness in the desert. The blessed Prophet Muhammad concluded his story by saying, "You too will be rewarded by being good to all creatures you come across." Thank you to all of my actors who helped me tell this lovely story.
So I want to invite you into our next song. This is "O River" from the musical duo Ma Muse. And we, in fact, enjoyed this song a year ago. I had forgotten we had enjoyed it just all the way a year ago, but we're going to come back to it today. So I want to invite my hymn helpers to come forward and join me. And we're going to teach the song. This is an a cappella song. We're going to teach the song, and then we're going to sing it together. All right. So I'm going to stay up here so people can see me, but I'm going to be over here. And yes, we can have the wide view. Thank you, Cullen. All right. Now follow me. Now listen first. Finding my way finding my way, finding my way, finding my way, finding my way, finding my way back home. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Again. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Again. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. The second part is, we're going to line this out a little. Oh, river, I hear you, feel you calling me. Oh, river, who will I be when I reach the sea? Oh, river, I hear you, feel you calling me. Oh, river, who will I be when I reach the sea? Again. Oh, river, I hear you, feel you calling me. Oh, river, who will I be when I reach the sea? We'll start from the beginning. Please rise. Please rise. We'll do the singing. And just watch me. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Again. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Oh, river. Oh, river. I hear you, feel you calling me. Oh, river, who will I be when I reach the sea? Oh, river, I hear you, feel you calling me. Oh, river, who will I be when I reach the sea? Finding our way, and you can join me for O River at some point. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. I'll be over O River over here. Oh, river, I hear you, feel you calling me. Oh, river, who will I be when I reach the sea? One more time. Oh, river, I hear you, feel you calling me. Oh, river, who will I be when I reach the sea? Who will I be when I reach the sea? Thank you. From my colleague, the Reverend Mike Johnson. In our water ritual, we bring water from places we live or the places we may have visited and pour it into our common container. All of the water mixes together. Every drop has some of the molecules of water from every place. So if you take a small bottle of water out, you'll have the water of many places in one bottle. And each time we have the water ritual, we add water and welcome it in. And that way, each ritual welcomes the water from many places again and again and again. I think this is one of the ways. Why do we bring this water to? Why do we just have something as deceptively simple, I might say, as a water communion, bringing this together? Because it helps make more tangible the sacredness of water. All life comes from water. All life needs it to survive. Water moves through the entirety of the ecosystem, nurturing and transforming life as it moves. It is a miracle in every moment. It rises from the ocean in evaporation, forms clouds in the sky, is blown by the winds, and returns to the land in rain and snow. And precipitation goes into the soil, gathers in streams and aquifers, and in the midst of this journey travels through all the bodies of every living thing. And every being needs it: the insects, the birds, the mammals, the fish, the people. Water rises up into the systems of plants and trees, but none of it is isolated from the rest, because even our own bodies are part of this watershed. It goes back into the air or the earth and continues in streams and rivers on its way to the ocean, and the cycle goes again and again. All water is one water, continuously flowing through the biosphere, even if we get it from the kitchen tap. That water has been around the world in its journey, has been around the world. So now is the time for bringing water to our common bowl, whether you brought it with you or whether you use what we are providing. And I want to invite you, if you have an order of service and have blue Post-its in the order of service, if you want to write a little something on that, what are the gifts and blessings? What do you receive from water that brings life into you? What might bring life into our congregation as well? And I need a little help. Let's see, a little help we need. Now we will reveal the water vessels, if I may say. There we go. And the water. It magically appears. Look at that. It's amazing. There we go. A little more dressed. I want to thank Jesse for coming up with a fantastic well today, too. You're welcome to come forward. Start the water in the vessels and recognize how sacred and good it is to be in this moment, in this blessing. You're welcome to come forward. Contemplation. If you've written something, I'd love, please give it to me. I'd love to share it a little bit with the congregation. I know some of the water that comes in my life is certainly found in the garden, certainly found in the rains. Oh. Hi, where's some of that from? Just hand it to me. Thank you. Yes, we know some of the water comes and brings little things in with it as well. We recognize that too. Thank you. Thank you. And if you want to sing a little bit more, oh, river, I hear you, feel you calling me. Oh, river, who will I be when I reach the sea? Finding a way, 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 finding a way back home. Finding a way, 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 finding a way back home. Finding a way, 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 finding a way back home. Finding a way, 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 finding a way back home. Oh, river, I hear you, feel you calling me. Oh, river, who will I be when I reach the sea? Oh, river, I hear you, feel you calling me. Oh, river, who will I be when I reach the sea? Finding a way, 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 finding a way back home. Finding our way, 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 finding our way back home. Finding our way, 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 finding our way back home. Finding our way, 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 finding our way back home. Oh, river, I hear you, feel you calling me. Oh, river, who will I be when I reach the sea? Oh, river, I hear you, feel you calling me. Oh, river, who will I be when I reach the sea? Some of the things that life is bringing is inner peace, life itself, energy and refreshment. Water brings the salt of the earth to help it pass through the diversity and the substrata it must pass through to sustain us all. Amen. Amen. Some of the water that's been represented here is from Ferry Beach, from the Atlantic Ocean, the Mississippi, the Chesapeake, Baltimore, Salem, Massachusetts. I know some of the water came from, I think, the West Coast as well, all across the country, not just the Mississippi River, right? Water brings fun and joy. Splashing in a body of water is floating and a cool feeling. Water nurtures all growth, including plants. Oh, music brings life as well. Some of the gifts and blessings include swimming with family, travels near and far, freedom and love. The reminder that we are the ocean and I am the wave. All things living come from the sea, and I will return to the sea. Begins cleanliness and new beginnings. And with these blessings, let me also simply bless the waters here for my colleague, the Reverend Susan Carlson. May the waters gathered remind us of what each of us brings to the community and the waters that nourished us before we were even born, that continue to give us sustenance and energy for our life journeys and for all the creatures on the earth. May we gratefully continue to swim to the other side. Please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, number 1064, Blue Boat Home, in the teal hymnal. Go below.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. For these we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
As drops of rain that find each other and build to become a track, a rivulet, a stream, a river, a sea, so we are drawn together. So are we fortunate to find each other, and so are we bound together on this shared passage toward an unknown ocean and eternity. Our worship is ended. Let our service begin.